We had a long last week in the final of the regional, went to the third game, and it was a hot day that day also. So we actually had a couple days of recovery, and during the week, as we ramped up, we could kind of feel the adrenaline. When we pulled in today, it was nice to get here a couple hours early, just kind of absorb the atmosphere, the environment, kind of be present in it. And now today, kind of when we stepped out in that first inning, our first inning went well on defense. It was pretty good on offense, and it took away some of any kind of jitters we had being here.
Just right off of that, I mean, first pitch, you set the tone right away. I mean, how big of a deal was that to just get it started right when the first ball came?
I just see it as my job. I get the team going, and I just saw that fastball away and took it, hit the double, and I just to fire my team up. It's my job as a leadoff. I'm there to get the rally going. I'm not there to strike out or nothing. Just keep it going, keep the line moving.
You could really feel it when you got to first base. The whole stadium was what was that like when you were getting there, kind of sensing that?
Yeah, it was pretty surreal. This is probably the biggest game of my life, and the stadium was beautiful, and it definitely took away the jitters, and I'm just in that flow state. Now it's like now we go. Now our offense is ready to go, and as we saw, we put up 5 in the first, so we'll just get the tone started.
Set the tone.
And then later it went out.
Yeah.
How's that like? Like just that home run. I mean, I guys hit so many home runs this year to get one here, and it's a big blow.
It felt good. I'm obviously not trying to do that, but I got into one and saw that fastball in the middle and just turned on it. There's nothing much else to say. I got to put a good swing on it. So.
Not a lot of teams dominate the game up here, especially the way you guys did today. You talk about that. You're saying, coach, like you get settled in is one thing, but to do it like this was huge.
Bloomingdale is a great team. They made it this far, so congrats to them. But like Coach Boyle says, put it on them early and then just don't let off. So even though we got 5 in the first, you just have to keep going on with that kind of energy and don't let it off, because once you let it off, you never know what can happen in this game. So it's kind of how we play.
Yeah, we kind of look at and discuss opportunities. We talk about when we're discussing things, we talk about base runners and barrels. If we get base runners, somebody's going to barrel up a ball. And if they stay in the middle of the field, they open it up. You mentioned Nico, left field today, other way, went the other way. And if we can get out in front and we can just stack on one, get a chance to get 2, that gives us an opportunity. If we're throwing strikes and our pitchers can stay in line and we play really good defense, so we can hold teams down. So to have the opportunity early to add 2 runs that we got early kind of multiplied it. And we also talk about pressure. Sometimes, and it's going to happen to every team, but when the pressure to not make any more mistakes kind of gets on you, you kind of make more mistakes. So we continue, it's a good song. We continue, to try to put that pressure. In games that we're behind, we kind of do the same thing. And then each hitter in the lineup is only focused on putting a barrel on the ball.
So you win this game. How does it put pressure, or does it going to take a little pressure off you guys in the championship game come tomorrow?
It doesn't take pressure off in a sense, but what we just finished discussing was we stayed with the plan today, and that plan's working. We normally do stick to the plan, and we start a new game, but we're going to start that new game with the same plan to pick up offensively right where we were. Pitching and defense are going to win the games. If we can solidify pitching and defense and we swing the bat like we swing the bat all year, it'll put us in a good position.
Pitching wise, you only used Tommy today, so how good are you feeling going into tomorrow? You got the rest of your staff.
Well, Tommy getting a CG today, complete game, he was big. Actually, had we gone 7 innings, it might have been Tommy for 7 innings because he was feeling it today, and everything was working. Number one plan when we step out there is no free bases. Guys are going to have to hit baseballs. We don't like to walk runners. That's one of our themes when we're talking about the pitching staff, and he seemed to have control of that. And it picked us up too, because even if we use someone today in that heat, what we do have is everybody available. So tomorrow's all hands on deck. So, and we'll discuss how we're gonna go, how we're gonna start, what we're gonna do. And we also have some options of position players that pitch. So that'll after we get some, some sweet tea and a cold shower, we'll start talking about that.
Andrew, I'm curious, what was the batting, the batting practice before the game? How was it all going in? Because you guys were just all locked in, right from the start.
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 days of practice before we left over here, we practiced the timing and being on the clock, because it's the first time all year we've been on the clock. So, but I mean, everything flowed well, and our coaches, they just teach us, get the foot down early, swing on top, and that's what we did. We got good pitches, we didn't miss them, and everybody just passed it on to the next guy.
I mean, just like Coach said, barrel up, especially in that first inning. It seemed whenever you made contact, it was like that perfect sound and finding all the holes. I mean, what's it like when it's all clicking right away like that after, that was the conversation to get to it?
I mean, it's a surreal feeling, that's who you work for, so it's always great. Baseball's a game of failure, so when it's working, it's a good feeling, so.
Good timing.
Yeah.
Joey, talk a little bit about you guys, your home field. You don't get the credit you deserve, maybe your offense around town, because people say, oh, they play in where they play with the small field. So how nice is it to come up here and these guys to actually show that they're good hitters? This isn't a ballpark thing.
So no, it's not a ballpark thing, because what we do, and being familiar with our field and that big 22-foot fence, we practice staying in the middle and driving balls from gap to gap off that fence, line drives. If they go over, they go over. But if we're gonna hit those line drives consistently into that fence, and we come up here and there's a pasture of outfield out there, those balls are gonna get in the gaps. And it's a little deceptive when people kind of look at our lineup and batting average. They don't realize how fast everyone in our lineup is. So if we're gonna reach the gaps, we're gonna run. So, I mean, that's kind of where it helped, and we didn't get away from it. I want to say we had maybe 4 at-bats, and these guys know we're going to discuss small things where you get ahead in the game, you want to try to do a little too much sometimes, but hitting the ball in the air here is balls are just going to be up there forever. But we swing the bat exactly the same way we have all year, which is kind of the plan. And if they get through the gaps, like I said, I don't think people realize when we get balls into gaps, we got guys that are going to be second or third base.
One last question. You guys good? Have we got the need?
Good.
Hey, thank you all.